Hey, if you're a hooper and you want to learn about the NBA weight room routine, make sure you watch this video. Hey, it's your boy James Watts tuning back in with another video, man. Shout out to everybody to take care of themselves, man. First of all, I'm gonna get right into it. What I want to talk about today is going to give you an insight on just like how a professional athlete like myself, like how I get, like how I get through my day, my routine, how my routine is in the weight room. It kind of be a lot of things, and I'm gonna touch on a lot of things that I do, and by me touching on the routines that I do within my own routine, y'all kind of go learn the things that y'all can add to y'all bag in terms of athletes or hoopers that's watch this video, especially young hoopers too. So, first of all, what I do in the morning, especially just my whole day, is I wake up. It just depends like on a certain timing, but most of the time it be in the morning, it be around 8:30, 9 o'clock every morning. I'll wake up, I pray, I meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. It just depends. Probably 15, but mainly I keep it around 5 to 10 minutes. And then after I get done meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, brush my teeth and do what I got to do, eat breakfast and stuff. But after that, I kind of eat like a lean diet. I don't try to eat nothing like too crazy, but just like some eggs, like sunny side up eggs, scrambled eggs, or like just some French toast on the side, and just like something light like that, and probably like a fruit smoothie or something. After I get done eating that meal, I probably get like a sea moss shake. Sea moss, probably mix it like like with some blueberries and stuff like that to just start off my day. Um, and then after I do that, I'll probably read for about 10 to 15 minutes. So mind you, as I'm doing, like as I'm creating, like the shake and whatnot, I'm reading and stuff, and doing everything else within that time. So I'll probably read like a couple pages, a chapter or two, and just probably read like. And most of the time I'll read to cover up for the journal if I don't want to journal. But if I got stuff in my mind, like I kind of journal after I get done meditating. So that kind of be my morning routine. Once I get to the facility, I go straight into red light therapy. It's good for like inflammation. It's good for like like tissue repair and stuff like that. So I kind of be in there for 5 10 minutes before I work out. Usually, I'll probably get to the facility probably like 20, 15, 10 minutes earlier. So I kind of have time in between to be able to do that session, be able to get 10 minutes in the red light. And then after that, it turns like how the weight room situation look in terms of me just like being in the weight room. It's certain days, Um, every day is tough because it's high level for sure. But it's just like a lot of things that details inside of it, which is like mobility work. Um, from my perspective, bro, like mobility work is kind of stretching your body out, kind of creating that circulation, that blood flow within your body, so that you can be able to, remain flexible, be able to keep that mobility within your body, within your joints and stuff. So, but before I lift, I start off with a lot of mobility workouts, kind of like the scaps, to where you go like 5 here, then you go 5 back. And like I start off with like 90 90s, like on the ground, to where you go left and you go right. You kind of like basically like your upper body kind of go over the top of your knee, and then it's kind of like you stretching kind of like your glute area and kind of almost your hamstring area, just like to loosen like your hips up and stuff. I start off with that. I start off with good mornings, like like with the bar back of me. That I kind of like do an RDL, and that kind of like creates the mobility, kind of like in the back area, but it also strengthens my back area, my lower back, upper back, all of that stuff, and just to be able to keep your posture and just to be able to stay up and while you go down. And like this is the one thing I had to learn, because in college, like when I used to do my RDLs, because I'm so tall, I kind of like have my back kind of like shrugged this way. And my strength condition coach always tell me like you gotta always have your shoulders back. You gotta always stand up straight. You gotta have good posture before you like do RDLs, because that's the most important thing. So I had to learn that in college for sure. But that's what I do. I do kind of good mornings. I do kind of like 2 sets of everything, and kind of do probably between 8 to 10 10 reps between each, like circuit that I do, between each workout circuit that I do. Before I do my mobility stuff, I'll go right into like isometrics. So isometrics is basically like You kind of like at the top pose, and well, I say like isometrics is basically like you are resisting your body weight. So say like I'm doing calf raises, but I'm kind of like on a machine to where you squat, right? But say like you put it on 200, 300 pounds to where you kind of like lifting it up. But that's just my pounds that I do because, I be in the weight room every single day getting strong. But I mean, you can start off slow, but isometrics in general is basically you kind of like cause a resistance between your body weight. So basically, like being able to like do wall sits. Like wall sits is kind of like a form of isometrics because you kind of holding your body contracted at a certain amount of seconds. You got what I'm saying? 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Planks is kind of like a form of isometrics because you kind of holding your body up, holding your body weight up. So those are things that I do. I do a lot of mobility work before I go into weight room stuff. I do a lot of isometrics in terms like, calf raises, in terms like holding up that calf raise and not kind of doing calf raises, but as soon as I get up to the top of my calf raise, that's when I hold it for like 30, 40 seconds. So that's what you call like isometrics in a sense. So I do a lot of isometrics, plyometrics in terms of like doing explosive work, in terms of doing step ups. Like I do a lot of step ups, and I say step ups and goblet squats a lot to be able to strengthen like my lower body, to get my legs right and stuff, especially like, to like get your calves and stuff right, to get that strong and whatnot. So for the warm up, like I said again, I do mobility work. I do a lot of like stretching and stuff, and do a lot of mobility work with the band. People, like if y'all have like a gym that y'all got like around y'all neighborhood, make sure that you have a band around you. And y'all probably know what I mean. Y'all know the flexible bands that y'all probably see at Planet Fitness a lot or just anywhere. Like use that band to stretch out your body. Like that's what I do a lot in my mobility work. I stretch out my body a lot because stretching is just good for the body in general. Like I mean, it's it's physical, but it got so many benefits. Like it reduces inflammation on the spot. You can be able to keep your mobility, be able to keep your flexibility. It creates longevity in your body. So like make sure you stay on top of that. And also too, like yoga is something that I'm really interested in that I'm gonna start doing for sure. I do meditation a lot and I do a lot of stretching, but actually like taking it to another level and actually like doing it to where I can be able to add it to my routine too. But yeah, mobility work in the weight room, man, like isometrics, being able to like hold your body weight and being able to keep it. I do a lot of like kettlebell swings. I do a lot of like 20-pound. Okay, so y'all might think I'm crazy, but I literally work out with a 20-pound vest on. Like some days I go in there and I challenge myself. Like I be telling y'all like in my last videos, like showing up for yourself is the confidence boost. It's the key thing because when you show up for yourself, you know what I'm saying, every single day. Like that's you proving to yourself that you can do it every single day. Some days I'll show up to the gym and I'll be like, you know what? I want to challenge myself even more. And like I want to push myself even more and see where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? So I purposely and like intentionally put on like a 20-pound vest and work out the whole workout. Like do sit-ups in it, do push-ups in it and everything. But just to challenge myself because like when you push yourself in the gym, like you gonna definitely see results. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you do stuff to challenge yourself and to take it that far. And to like, I mean, I find it as fun to me and as competitive because when I push and challenge myself, like it's fun to me. So like just being like having that enthusiasm is something that you can't that you can't keep away either. Especially when you're working out, when you're doing anything that's benefiting your life overall health. Like always have some enthusiasm about it because it's gonna help you out in the long run. So yeah, like I said, mobility. I like isometrics. I do a lot of lower body workouts. Man, so let's get to the conditioning part. Conditioning part, what I do is I break it up into four. So I do mobility work and then I do kind of upper and lower body work and core work as well. I do a lot of core work, so planks, side planks, Copenhagen's. Copenhagen's is basically if anybody has like a container or like somebody or just anything like in Planet Fitness that you may find if you got a gym around you. If it's like a container to where you can do step ups on, and people know what I'm talking about, but it's like a little box, not a container, but like so it's like a box to where people do like box jumps on and step ups. Like if you do like a side plank, And if you just like put your, elbow, you do a side plank, and then you just put your right leg up on top of the box, like, bro, you can do like up and downs like with your hip, and like you can do like kind of like an exercise like that. And you can also not only do that, but you can do Kobe hangers. Like you can do Kobe hanging planks to where you can be able to hold it, and that's a form of isometrics as well. So like just being able to contract the body and to remain that resistance, and that's like, the stronger you get. But yeah, man, I do a lot of isometrics, mobility work. I do a lot of core work. I do a lot of, upper lower body. For the conditioning part, the last thing that I'm gonna say, for the conditioning part, man, if anybody got a wind bike, man, I suggest that you use that a lot because it's really good for the lungs. And when you do like a lot of like HIIT exercises, like HIIT intervals, so say like you go, so like a HIIT interval is basically like, all right, I'm gonna go 20. All right, so I'm gonna go hard for 20 seconds and then I'm gonna rest for 40, and I'm gonna do that like 10 times. Bro, I promise you, like it may sound crazy and like that's the intervals that I do, but I do like a lot more, but I do like a lot around like 10 to 12 for sure. But I suggest that y'all do wind bikes for sure because that's definitely gonna help out, like, cardio for sure. Cardio gonna be up, you know what I'm saying? Like your motor gonna be up for hoopers. That motors, like if you know. And yeah, just like the whole nine, man, just being able to use everything in the weight room, to your advantage. But I highly suggest like keeping a band with you. I highly suggest stretching. I highly suggest nutrition, like keeping your body up, eating right, stuff like that, and making good decisions on that. And yeah, man, like I highly recommend y'all to be able to be in a weight room and just like, probably take some things that I probably said today. But yeah, like mobility work is the most important thing that I say to implement. Stretching. The second thing I say that's very important is working on your core because your core is connected to everything. So the more you work on your core, that's where your power is at. So like being able to do a lot of, like I said, Copenhagen planks, to be able to do a lot of planks, just in general, to be able to do like wall sits, to be able to like use a med ball and do med ball slams, and like it's a lot of things that you can do like in a weight room to be able to implement that. And the one more thing I will say too is, man, y'all don't be afraid to use that battle ropes either, man. Battle ropes is another conditioning that I got in my condition that I use a lot. So like when I'm not on the wind bike, I'm definitely doing battle ropes, and I'm doing kind of, I say 10 sets, 30 seconds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and I'm doing that 10 times. So you can bunch it up however you want to bunch it up. You can start off slow, like I talked about in my last videos. Atomic habits is everything. Start slow, and then you can be able to gain momentum from there. But I just want to just give y'all some tips on like how I go through my little set of when I'm in a weight room and how I progress and how I work out and stuff like that. So as I'm explaining that, hopefully y'all got some things that y'all can use and put into y'all bag. So hey man, for the hoopers that want to find out like what a professional athlete do and work out, and how it go, man, it takes a lot, but I mean you just keep the enthusiasm and you just look at it as like fun because it's what it is, because we hoopers and that's what we do, man. I mean it's beneficial at the end of the day, so it's only gonna help you. So James Watson tuning out. Peace.